welcome back to my channel. In today's episode, I want to start a new series where we actually learn how to code our own games and not just how to get my models in the description for free. Although I can continue with that if you guys want, that's up to you guys, but I want to try something new. So now that we're inside our Roblox Studio app, you will get this screen right here. So you can get it to choose a lot of different templates, but I want to choose the basic one, so just choose base plate. Now that you're inside your base plate game, there's a lot of different things that you might find overwhelming, but when you get to understand how this interface works, it will be very easy to use, and it will not be very hard to use either. So what I want to do first is introduce you guys to the different panels and the Explorer tab especially. So on our left side we have our toolbox, or it's possible that you don't have it, but if you don't have it, just go to View and then choose Toolbox. The toolbox can be used to import models, just click it and then you have it in your game. So we can choose this neutral spawn, boom, and we can also see structures and stuff like that, so we can add them to our game. And you can choose a lot of different things. This is models, but you can also choose audio, images, videos, and even fonts now, which is very new. It was just introduced a couple of weeks ago. And yeah, that is the Explorer. No, sorry, that's the toolbox. And we also have our properties and Explorer tabs. So let's just make sure we have this select option selected. So we can select our spawn, to just click it, with clicking it like this. And now you can see in the Explorer tab, our spawn location is lightened up like in blue to show us that we have selected it. And also this properties tab is displaying the properties of the spawn location. So these properties right here can be used to change a lot of things about our spawn location. We can change the brick color, you can see it like this, to maybe, I don't know, this color right here. And we can change the material, so let's choose, I don't know, wood planks. As you can see, it works. And we can change the transparency to make it completely invisible, and a lot of other things. So in this video, I want to show you guys how you can create some very basic scripts where you can change these properties, like live, changing them live inside the game. So let's choose our spawn location in the Explorer tab. And by the way, the Explorer is the tab which just shows all the different things inside our game. The workspace is basically just what we see, the parts and houses and cars and whatever you guys want. And we also have our starter GUI, which is used to make these interfaces or screens, health bars, main menus and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and select our spawn location, and let's click this plus and insert a script. This is what we will see when you create our script. This is just like a template, and we will just be deleting it like this. So now that we are inside the script, this script right here is under the spawn location. In other words, this spawn location is this script's parent, and this script is the child of the spawn location. So that might be a bit hard to understand at first, but we will get into it in later episodes, and it will be easy to understand. So if we want to access our spawn location's properties, we can just do script.parent And you can see right here, it says spawn location because, well, the script's parent is the spawn location. And let's say we want to change this transparency, basically making it visible. We can just do script.parent dot what our property is called, and it is called transparency. And we want to set the transparency to 1, which is invisible. So let's go back to our game. Let's click this arrow and let's choose run. Now you can see the script did exactly what we wanted. Now our spawn location is invisible. Okay, great, that worked. And so now you can understand what properties are. So let's go ahead and change some other properties as well. So let's just click stop. And let's go ahead and see what other properties we can change. As you can see, let me just go here and click play here so you can see what it looks like when I play. And you can see it's invisible, but I can still step on it, which is kind of weird in my opinion, because I want to make it completely invisible. I don't want anyone to see it, notice it, and I want everyone to be able to go through it. So let's click stop. And now I want to make sure that players can walk through the spawn location. And the property used for collisions is called can collide. So we have to make sure that it's off, because can collide just means do you want to be able to touch it or not? And we do not want to be able to touch it. But just to make sure you understand these properties inside the script, let's do it in here instead. So let's do script.parent.can collide. And you can see the can collide option does not have a 0 or 1. It's just a checkbox. And to change that, we can just do true or false instead. Instead of like a random number, 1, 0, it's true or false. And we want to set it to false. So let's go ahead and test what that looks like. As you can see, I can now walk through the spawn location. Great. And you can see there's still this ugly image inside the spawn location. So if we select the spawn location, we can see a decal, which is basically just an image. And if we delete it, it will be gone. And I want to do that. So let's go back into the script. And now I want to access the image and then set the transparency to 1. And to do that, we first have to get the script's parent, which is the spawn location, and then go back inside into the decal, if you understand what I mean. Basically, we are first getting to the parent, and from the parent, we are going back to the child, which is the decal. Now that we have it, we can set the transparency to 1. Let's go ahead and see how it looks. Yeah, I cannot even see it. So let's just choose our spawn location. See, you cannot see it at all. It's basically invisible. It does not exist, basically. So yeah, now we have a completely invisible spawn location. And we did it all inside a script. Now that you guys understand how properties work, let's go ahead and understand how to use a function or property or whatever called. Now that we understand how to use properties, let's go ahead and add another set of command. Now that we understand properties, let's go ahead and understand some other stuff as well. So this transparency thing right here is a bit stupid because I'm setting the image transparency to 1 to make it invisible, but the truth is I never want to use this image ever again inside the game. So instead of setting the transparency to 1, I can just destroy it instead, like this. And this does exactly what you think it does. So let's click run. The spawn location is invisible, just as before, but now you can see there's no decal inside the spawn location because it got deleted. So yeah, what we can do next is get into variables. And variables are basically numbers or text or whatever. They just store a piece of information for you. So let's say I want to change a lot of properties inside this spawn location. I can do like script.parent.transparency equals 1, script.parent.canCollide equals false, script.parent blah 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 blah. But I don't want to do that because it takes a lot of time and it's a waste of space. So what I want to do instead is do local parent. Actually, let's just name it parent equals script.parent. Now we have a variable called part. So instead of doing script.parent.transparency, we can just do part.transparency equals 1 and part.canCollide equals false. As you can see, I now saved some space on each and every line, which is great. And we can use variables for a lot of stuff. We can also create another variable which will store a number. So let's do local part transparency equals, let's set it to 1. So instead of this, I want to set the transparency of the parts to part transparency. And as you can see, that actually takes a bit more space, but it makes it a lot easier for us. Let's say we are going to change this part transparency multiple times, and if we want to change it for some reason, we have to go back and change it on every single line. But if we just get the variable, we can just change one thing instead, and all the lines will be changed. So in a sense, it's actually faster, even though it might not look it at first. What we can do now is go into something called wait. It's very, very basic. You just write task.wait, and inside these brackets kind of things, you can write how many seconds you want the script to wait. You can write 0.1, 100, 1000 of it does not matter. And let's just say 1 second. Actually, let's do 3 seconds. So let's go back into our game, and now you can see this one location looks like it was, and boom. Now, after 3 seconds, it will run the rest of the script. The wait command can be used for things like this. And while we are at it, let's go ahead and add like a blinking sort of thing. So I want to go back to my game, insert a part by clicking this button right here. Let's set the anchor property to true because otherwise it will fall down. And let's set the material to neon. And now we have a lamp kind of thing. Now that we have a lamp, let's go ahead and rename the thing to the part to lamp. So we have a lamp right here. And let's go back inside our script. And let's just remove all of this. Let's get make a variable called lamp because I don't want to write the location every single line. But as you can see, this lamp is not inside our spawn. It is under workspace. So we want to do first script.parent, which is the spawn location, and then we want to get the parent of the spawn, which is workspace, so .parent, and then .lamp. Now we have the location of our lamp. So we can now do task.wait 1, lamp.transparency equals 1. Let's just copy this and set this. Now let's see. Boom, boom, boom. It kind of loops, you know. It's a very ugly effect in my opinion, but now you know how to do it if you want to use it. So, yeah. Of course, this is a very this is basically a horrible way of doing something like this because it takes up a lot of space and we have to keep doing it forever if we don't want to stop. What we can do instead is just write while true do. And while true is equals to true, which is forever, we want to keep doing this thing. So let's do task.wait 1 lamp.transparency equals 1. Task.wait 1 lamp.transparency equals 0. So now we have something called a while loop. And this will keep looping forever and ever. So let's go ahead and see. Boom, 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 boom. It will keep doing this forever. So it will never stop. And it's such an easy thing to write to. So that's great. We can now click stop. Let's get into something called a if statement as well. So let's remove all of this. And let's create a let's create a bool value. So let's do local lamp is on equals, and the bool value is basically a value that can either be true or false. I want to set it to true because why not? So down here we want to do if lamp is on equals true. Basically this means that if lamp is on is true. Then, and inside this thing right here between the end and the then, we can write what we want to do. If the lamp is on equals true. And if the lamp is on, we want to set the lamp.transparency to 0. But if the lamp is not on, we need to have a if statement for that as well. So, but instead of doing that, we can just write else. Because the lamp is on can only be true or false. So if it's not true, then we can guarantee that it's false. So let's do. So now we can do lamp is on. No, lamp.transparency equals 1. So let's set this lamp is on bool to false, and let's click run. As you can see, our lamp is now invisible. If we go back and set it to true, go back. Yep, it is visible. So now you know how to do a if statement as well. I think we can wrap up. I think this is enough for today's video. But I hope you guys liked it. And if you guys like this series, I will continue with it. And we will get into more and more advanced stuff. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching and have a great day.